The movie starts while showing a college and Professor Nick was telling her students about insomnia. Insomnia means sleeplessness was a disease in which humans can't sleep because of stress. According to the professor, most people couldn't sleep for weeks or months because of stress. They feel less sleepy. She was telling if a human couldn't sleep for weeks can lose his or her senses and goes into the state of coma. Later, the main character of the movie Jane is shown. She has no parents and lives with her grandmother and sister. She has to manage her house along with her studies. She has made a small restaurant and was stressed while managing all those things. There was another reason for her stress, that she didn't pay the loan for her house yet. She gets the disease insomnia because of stress. She wishes to discontinue her studies in order to meet the expenses of her home while also obtaining a good job. She meets her Professor Nick in order to leave the college. The professor was making her understand it is a foolish act to quit from this stage. Because no one gets admission so easily in the medical college, the professor asks Jane the reason why is she leaving the college. After her reply, the professor has suggested her a job. It was the job of a lab assistant in the college. Jane doesn't want to do it because she can't fulfill her expenses with this small amount. Considering her problem, the professor tells her about a German research center. It needs some volunteers. The volunteers will get millions in return. Jane agrees to this job because she needs a huge amount. She goes to the research center told by the professor, and now she was guiding about their research. Its name was The Deep. This research was on the disease insomnia. They want to search how many hours a normal human can stay alive. She was getting this information from the video, and the researcher arrived after the video. Owner of the company. They were asking Jane if she was ready for this task. Jane says yes. A chip was inserted into her neck. Its purpose was to emit the hormone from her body that is released from the human body when they are awakened. They have to collect that hormone. After inserting the chip, they make Jane wear a watch. This watch was connected with the chip, showing the hormone collecting in the chip. The researcher was telling her because of the chip you can't sleep more than 1 minute. If you will sleep more than a minute, this chip will be blasted and you may die because of it. They take her signs on an agreement. It was written that she can't tell anyone about this research. Jane has to sign it because she has no other option. She needs money. Jane is shown at her house and a day has passed. Her watch was telling the hormone level and she doesn't have to sleep tonight. She goes to her grandmother and gives her a massage. Now she is shown in the college while studying the whole night. She meets her class fellow Win. He was asking her about her hormone level and she gets shocked hearing this because she didn't tell anyone about her agreement. How did he know? Then the boy tells her, I am also a member of Deep. Jane says, why are talking to everyone freely about this mission? We are forbidden to talk about this mission. He says, I have asked the researchers and we can talk to each other about it. Moreover, 2 more people are shown with them. One was a girl and the other was a boy named Peach. The girl was a vlogger and wasn't interested in her medical studies. She was studying because her parents forced her. Now they have discovered they 4 are part of the mission. They were talking and saying they can't sleep until the creatinine level on their watch goes. Creatinine means the level of the hormone. 2 days passed and they were happy because their watches were showing creatinine level within 2 days. It means the chip in their body gets full with that hormone. They move to the researcher and take out the chip from their bodies. They were given a huge amount of money and their problem gets solved as they get the money. Jane has also been given a loan for her house. After it, she was feeling relaxed. They are shown in an indoor park. In the next scene, Jane asks if the researchers will call us again for the Deep program. Will anyone from you go? Jane's class fellow Win says yes, we will go. Because they will get more money in the 2nd level. Jane was tense because they have to stay awake for a long time in Deep level. Jane is shown at home and brought a cell phone for her sister June. June becomes happy seeing it. She asks her, from where did you get the money to bring the phone? Jane doesn't tell her anything about it. They are again shown with the researcher in the next scene. The researcher was telling them this time they need more creatinine. So they have to stay awake for 5 days. This time they will get lax for this task. They get ready immediately after hearing about this huge amount. They know if they will sleep they can die. 3 days have passed, they have inserted the chip in their bodies. Beach slept mistakenly. He awakes soon, but the creatinine level on his watch was just. On another hand, Wynn's creatinine was %. Now he was feeling dizzy because of sleep. He is shown to get faint while playing basketball. Jane is shown studying in her house and was worried her creatinine was still after 3 days. Even more than half of the time has passed. Their creatinine level should be at least %. She didn't sleep for the 3 days and the weird things were happening to her. She was hallucinating. Her sister June becomes furious at her seeing her, and due to it, she again comes to her senses. Jane leaves without saying anything to her sister. June found a card from Jane's room. It was of the research center from where Jane has inserted the chip. It was the 4th day and they were in the college because of hallucination. Jane was considering the post-mortem body like her grandmother. They are shown together and worried. Their creatinine level didn't increase even at and just Wynn's level was. Jane assumes because of doing a workout Wynn's creatinine level is high. Jane was saying we have to use our bodies to increase our creatinine. We have to increase our physical activities. She has discovered this while seeing Wynn. He do more physical activities. That's why his creatinine level was more than anyone. Wynn says we should arrange a pool party and we will stay in the water. Due to it, our physical activity will also increase. Our sleep will also decrease because of staying in the water. They like his idea, so they go to Peach's house. Wynn is shown giving them a drink. He has mixed a drug. Due to it, they will not feel sleepy. Jane drinks it and it affects her mind, so she started dancing there. The vlogger is shown reaches a secret room of Peach. She gets shocked reaching the room because there were her pictures in his room. They were taken on different events. Her videos were playing on the computer behind. It is discovered here the vlogger already knows that someone is chasing her. He was thinking why Peach. It is shown because of not sleeping her mind hasn't the capacity to think this. She gets faint and they come there and try to awaken her. They get relaxed as she comes to her senses, but still they were worried. Because she can die if she will not awake even after a few more seconds. Meanwhile, their creatinine level is shown %. They immediately take out the chips from their bodies. They were given the money and the researcher was saying none has done well than you. He was asking will they take part in Deep's level 3rd. They were worried because of the vlogger, so they refuse. He was telling them they will be given lax for the level 3rd of Deep. Jane is shown with Professor Nick. She was telling her record is not good because she didn't give good exams. If this is happening because of the job of the research center, then don't do that job because your study is more important. And she tells Professor Nick, I have left this job already. An ambulance is shown in their college in the next scene. A kid was taken in that ambulance and there was the same creatinine watch in his hand. Jane has understood seeing that the kid has slept before completing his mission. He has died. Jane's grandmother is shown ill as she reaches home. Jane has to take her to the hospital. She wants surgery which requires a lot of money, but Jane hasn't that amount. June arrives and gives her sister the money and Jane asks her from where did you get this amount? June tells her she has also joined the Deep program. Jane comes in anger and says, do you know a man has died because of this program? Jane was making her understand to leave it, but June was saying I also want to support my family like you. So please let me do this. Jane is shown at home and she couldn't find June, so she goes to the research center immediately. She finds her sister and asks the researcher to take out the chip from her sister's neck. I will tell the police if you will not do this. The researcher says while smiling, you can't do anything like this because you have signed a contract. It was written clearly that you can't tell anyone about this, not even your sister. What is this, police? Now she was helpless after hearing this. The researcher says if you will make your friend agree to do deep level, I will take out this chip from your sister's neck. She calls her friends to a hotel. She was telling we have completed the 2 levels of deep. It was difficult to complete the 2nd level. My sister June has joined the 3rd level. She may die because of it and we can save her if we will join that level. Win, who likes her and agrees with her. Her other companions, Mean Peach and the Vlogger, didn't agree. They were scared and Jane was making them understand to help her. We are elders, we will somehow complete that program while going inside. We can help June. June is younger and she can't do this. Win tells Sin that if Jane will not be there on that day you would have died, and on this, Sin becomes emotional and joins them. Peach wasn't with them but they become happy seeing Peach in the research center for helping them. As they start deep level, Jane takes them to Professor Nick. They tell their story to Professor Nick and she becomes worried hearing this. She gives them an injection to make their sleep less. Professor Nick has taken them to her house. Because she was guilty that she has told them about this research center. She took them to her home so they will help each other for staying awake. Their creatinine level was just %, so they again take the dose given by Professor Nick on the 1st day. The scene after 3 days is shown their creatinine level was just %. They were hallucinating on the 5th day. There were weird thoughts in their mind, like Win was thinking his mother who have died is calling him. Sin, who is a beauty vlogger, was seeing the huge pimples on her face. She will never be a model because of it. Jane is also shown missing her parents and June's condition was worse. She was about to die. The condition of everyone gets worse one by one. Jane arrives at June and was trying to save her sister. They hear the voice of breaking something and as they go there they notice Sin has broken the washroom's mirror. Sin was furious at Jane as she sees her. She was feeling she has pimples on her face because of Jane. Her career has been destroyed because of her. She can never be a model. Win was making her understand but Sin wasn't ready to hear anyone. She was furious at Win and the boys of their team also start fighting during all this. As Jane goes to Professor Nick for reporting this, she gets shocked seeing many recordings there. These were their recordings and the huge truth of the movie revealed to them. Actually, this German company belongs to Professor Nick. The researcher who meets them and inserts the chip into their bodies was just their employee. Jane tells her companions about this. They decide to tell this to the police. As they make a call, there were no signals, so they tried to run from that house. They failed because the doors and the windows of the house were locked. Sin gets emotional and breaks the CCTV cameras. Win's condition was worse and he gets faint. Meanwhile, Professor Nick arrives and takes him with her. She takes out the chip from his body in which creatinine was collecting. Meanwhile, they arrive there and want to harm the professor, and then the professor makes them meet a man on the bed. It is discovered he is a professor and was researching insomnia. He has started this deep level. He was doing his experiment on himself. Because of not sleeping for many days, he was also feeling hallucinations. He has jumped from a building and was now in a state of coma. He was Professor Nick's friend and she wanted to recover him. She has found a cure for his disease after researching. This was she will insert creatinine from people's bodies into his body because of the creatinine given by the students. The man was coming to his senses. Professor Nick was telling them this, but the students were furious at her. They may die in all this. Professor Nick says, I have taken you here so I can save you before anything happens. But now the students will not be trapped by Professor Nick. They were about to call the police, so Professor Nick plays a game with them. She clutches Jane and injects her with an injection. It was of cardiac arrest and it will make her heart beat slower. They somehow save Jane while fighting with Professor Nick. But they notice her heartbeat turns 0. There was a warning on her watch and according to it they have to wake Jane in a few seconds, otherwise, she would die. They were worried because of this situation. Luckily, Jane awakes and they become happy because of it. They have made Professor Nick arrested. In the end, we discovered they didn't get money for deep level. They have worked hard for it. They have understood many things while living here together. They have seen death closer, so they have realized the real meaning of life. They discovered they have got the life for once and they have to do in it what they want. They have to live with their beloved ones in this life. Sin has also started vlogging, leaving the medical studies. Beach, who doesn't like to live in between people, starts giving time to his friend circle. Jane was also spending a normal life and the movie ends while showing her